they told me to come here to see a psychiatrist, like to get meds. And they were like, yeah, you totally, you come with us. You're going to go upstairs. And I was like, I'm good. Like, we can stay on this level. We don't,
we don't go to the
different
stairs.
levels. And they were like, no, like go upstairs. And that's how you get like a psychiatrist and like meds. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go upstairs. And so I went upstairs and then they made me wait 2 hours in the waiting room.
Yeah.
I get up and I start to leave because I'm like, it's just too long of a wait. Like I'm just like, I'll figure out a different way to get a psychiatrist, but like, this is taking too long.
Yeah.
I have shit to do. And I have work that night. I had like 4 sets that night. So I'm like, I just can't do this.
Yeah.
So then I try to leave and a police officer stops me and goes, you can't leave.
And we're so fucking back. It's the You're an Idiot podcast. I'm Alex Dragovich. Today, my guest is the incredible Jamie Wolf, everybody. Give it up for Jamie. They're all clapping on the other end.
Is that how you start all of the episodes? And we're so fucking
I think I'm going to do that going forward. I've been doing and we're locked in. But yeah, I think and we're so fucking back is very funny.
It made it sound like you took like a long hiatus. But I think it's been every week for like 4 years.
Yes. Yeah. We're you know what? We're gonna. I might stick with that. That's very good.
I like that energy of like a reunion episode, but it's every episode.
Yeah, dude. You're a champion of the show. Like you've kind of been on with your 3rd or 4th time now?
I think I'm a 3-timers club member.
3-timers club.
I'm in that tier.
You're America's favorite jacked twink. That's what I'm calling you. If you lose 30 pounds, you're fair game for anyone.
I don't know what that means, but 30 hurts. I don't know what you mean by fair game.
Like you're a jack dude. You're a strong guy.
Oh, thanks, man.
If you were thin,
yeah.
Like I think because of your physique, you've got like the nice features. You kind of got like maybe like the Connecticut model look a little bit to you, sure.
Yeah, Connecticut for sure.
And but because you're jacked, you're like I don't know. I'm like I get like maybe you'd be gay either way. Let's keep it moving, everybody. Weird way to start.
Let's
Jamie,
not question that for too long. Let's just move on.
Either way,
and we're so fucking
back. James, you wanted to start. Something happened to you today. You want to start off the pod?
I thought this was funny. I live with John Kennedy. You've had John on, right? Yeah.
One of the most average podcasters out there. No, we love John. He's great. We'll talk. Oh no! Hold on. Keep going. Do your story.
Something already.
The text with John. Should we talk? No, we can't talk about that. Maybe on the Patreon.
On the Patreon, yeah, probably. Yeah, honestly, either way, we might want to text him now, and then he'll get back to us for the Patreon.
We will
if we can mention it on Patreon.
Okay, great. That's a great cliffhanger. We might talk. It's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, keep going.
So I live with John.
Yes.
And today in my head, I was thinking about this bit that I was maybe going to try about how like I have a twin sister, and whenever I say that, women are like, "Oh, that makes sense," which is kind of insulting because it means I'm like a bad hang. But I'm like a good hang. Yeah. It's insulting because I'm a good hang. And so I was thinking about that in my head, and out loud, the only part of it I said in my apartment was, "I'm a good hang." And John went, "What?"
Right, because you're talking out the bit.
Yeah.
You're talking out the bit. Yeah.
And I was like doing like I was like getting ready to shower or whatever, and like the door was open to the bathroom, and John was like looked up from his phone. "What did you say?"
Dude. I don't really think about that because like I talk out loud when I write too.
Yeah.
So I imagine like my roommate Dan Carney sometimes can hear me pacing around my room going, my dad's an asshole. So my dad's an asshole, and I just
thought it was funny because it doesn't seem like I'm working a bit when I say I'm a good hang. It seems like I'm having an argument.
No, totally. Yeah,
good hang.
Yeah, I'm a
just
good
like hang. Quietly to myself. I'm a good hang.
It sounds like you're doing affirmations. Yeah.
The lamest affirmations. It's not even like you're beautiful or you're smart.
I'm a solid dude. I'm like, I'm a good hang. I'm a great friend.
7 out of 10 hang.
People in my life care about me.
Yeah.
then of course this Kennedy, just like
What? What did you say?
the most chronically online dude, just goes, "What? What's wrong with you, dude?" No, that's true. That's true. Have you ever had this? Dude, I had a guy. I was in the car. This is back in Chicago. I had a car, and I was on the highway trying to talk out a bit, and I had the pen to my mouth.
Yeah.
So like using it as the mic.
Yeah.
And I was at a stop sign, talking to myself. Turn, 2 hot girls in the car next to me, just being like, laughing their asses
Actually,
off.
at you? Oh, that hurts.
Brutal.
That
I'm talking out this
hurts.
bit. I'm like, yeah, so like hand jobs are weird, da da da. And then I turned over. These 2 really hot girls are just like,
Your window was down?
no. Windows
Thank
up.
God.
Windows up.
Oh my God. So they didn't hear it.
But I am but like they're like, oh, this guy is miming. So he's
Something. Do you think they thought you were singing? Like, and
oh,
faking a mic?
no, don't do Jamie. I didn't think about that. Fuck me. Oh my God.
So call me maybe. Just no matter if someone's crossing, just hitting the accelerator as hard as you can. It's a red light. There's like a bus.
Oh my God.
All right, I may as well just go now then.
Yeah. No, that's a tough look. It's yeah, no, I imagine I imagine I've had worse, more embarrassing things happen in that sense. Have you ever had a girl catch you in kind of a more kind of an embarrassing or kind of a vulnerable state like that?
Oh man.
Do you ever have neighbors like I always wonder if my neighbors can see me naked. Do you ever worry about that?
Yes, I do.
If I'm having a good dick day, the windows are open. If I'm having a bad dick day, I shut the blinds.
And we're so fucking bad.
And we are so fucking bad.
If I'm having a good dick day.
Come on, we've all had bad dick days.
Dude, I've been having a ton lately. I was thinking, I'm like, because I haven't got, I'm not dating this year. Like I'm taking this year off.
You're
from
just
dating
fully
and
off.
sleeping with people.
Great.
And I think it's if you don't use it, you lose it. Because I think it's getting smaller.
Ooh, it's like retreating.
Yeah.
It's like oh, so we're hibernating.
Yeah. It's
dude.
like they did this with like if you put your arm in a sling, all the muscle goes away.
Mhm.
And I think that's happening to my penis.
Oh yeah.
From not even, I don't even really masturbate right now.
Really?
I mean, sometimes.
do
but
you have the wet dreams happened?
no, I'm on meds, so I'm just not that horny in general.
Mm.
But I'm also separately taking this year off from dating. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I'm trying to think of I don't think that there's any medical literature that I could point to corroborate the dick losing its muscle.
Connor.
But yeah, maybe Connor, look that up.
that
Can
up.
a dick get
can it shrink back in without like hormones or anything? Like if I'm not on like whatever trans women take,
yeah.
is it possible that it would shrink in the same way?
My buddy, he's on SSRIs now, and he said he uses Viagra to counterbalance
Oh, yeah.
sometimes. Is that a real?
I use that. That's a potent combo, by the way,
Talk to me.
because you can't come if you're on SSRIs.
Oh, so you're just a dirt. You like
It's like a porn. You're like a porn star basically, because you just can't come, but you're staying hard the whole time.
because medically you are happy, horned up.
Yeah.
And the girl is happy and horned up, but you're not finishing.
Yes, but you can't finish because of the SSRIs.
You're a machine.
You're a machine.
Maybe I should see someone for my anxiety. Maybe I should get that.
I'll
I got
tell
an
you what,
answer here
though.
for you.
Okay. Yes. Well, the penis doesn't shrink. No way.
Oh,
Oh no way.
regular erections are important
to
for
a
maintaining.
slight shortening. That's amazing.
Oh, wow. So
Thank
you noticed this.
Thank you, Google AI.
Wait, fill in the listeners. They can't see what you're.
Yes, well, the penis doesn't shrink significantly if not used. Regular erections are important for maintaining its shape and elasticity. Without them, the penis can lose some of its elasticity, potentially leading to a slight shortening. And slight would be, I would say, probably an under exaggeration of that. I think they're selling it short. I think it's a large shortening.
You've gotten some pretty legit shrinkage happening.
Definitely, like quite noticeable shrinkage.
Do you think it's okay? Is it shortened or is it sad? Because I know what a sad dick looks like, dude. I know when my dick is sad, I'm
Yeah,
like
it's
he's smaller.
Yes. Yeah. It's
Jesus.
almost like it's not the size that's smaller, it's the energy.
It's a smaller. Yeah. I've had days where I look down there, I go, I'm just like, man, like we're both going through something. Like we're both kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like
I
we're
do
both
know what
having
you're
a
saying.
bad, your energy.
I always picture it as like, it's like Squidward's nose when it's like that. Cause he was just kind of a dour guy. And that's like how the energy of my dick when I'm sad. Like the sad dick energy is like a Squidward nose energy.
Yeah. Try to talk to him.
Yes.
Try to talk him up.
Yes.
Like, hey man, you're loved.
Now
You
I'm
know?
not, Patrick. I'm useless. Or whatever it is. No, I'm not.
Giving your dick a Squidward voice. That girl last night was hot.
That was awesome. 10 out of 10.
Sorry for coming early. Sorry for the quick session. Your dick, your dick comes early. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, I can't do anything.
Can't do anything right. He's just self-aware. You're self-aware, sad dick. Damn. So wait, I'm actually. So this
First, the pee goes sideways today, and then later I come too quick. What's gotten into me?
Wait, dude, this is great news though. So you can. So there must be times though. Obviously, since you can't come though, but you've had times where you're just like, I am delivering, because you are a guy who you've struggled before with something like that. So now having the opposite thing happen, that must be kind of elating though, right?
Yes, but weirdly, like I guess it definitely makes it easier to like last longer.
Sure.
But I do find that women get more frustrated if you're not coming than they can't come. That's what I've found.
So like if
it's a personal anecdote,
if she's got 2 comes and you've got 0 comes,
Yeah.
she's still mad.
Yeah. It really hurts them, because I think it's just like a societal thing of like, women, it's impossible for them to come, and men come immediately so quick. It's so easy. You just touch it and explode. And then when you can't come, she's just like, well, it's got to be me, because everything anyone's ever said is that men come like that.
Yeah. Okay, but then you have to be like, I'm actually on 4 different medications. You're like,
I'm actually supposed to be locked in a facility right now, and the fact I'm out is a violation of state and federal law.
But you were good too.
But you're perfect.
Yeah. No, that is absolutely okay. That's good to know. That's good to know, because I've honestly, like, Ishmael's told me, some of my best friends have told me, I think you probably told me in the past too, but like getting on the meds, the head stuff can't help.
Yeah.
I'm in therapy. We'll get to that later, but like I think if I can maybe nudge her on that might be something to look into. I think Ishmael was telling me, I don't think he was saying Zoloft. Xanax? What's the other one?
Definitely not Xanax.
No.
It's for sure not Xanax. I think it is Zoloft.
Might be Zoloft.
I mean, I was on Zoloft.
Is
You
that
mean
for
for
anxiety?
lasting long?
This is for anxiety.
Yeah. I was on Zoloft for anxiety.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll circle back with Ishmael on that. But he said something where it was just like, it was an immediate. Did it help you immediately?
Yeah, like immediately.
You were just like, you kind of see the world.
Yeah, immediately. Like a week into taking Zoloft, I immediately felt very different.
Really?
Like that fast.
In terms of
They say it takes 6 weeks to kick in, but I think they say that just so that you wait 6 weeks if you start taking it. But yeah, for me, I felt it like legit, like within a week of taking it.
Is it like the first sunny day after like a long winter or something like that? Is it kind of like hit, like when the sun hits your face like that, or is it, what's the bodily kind of reaction?
What a beautiful comparison. What a poetic and amazing.
Been potting for 3 years, folks. This is what happens.
Well, but that was like a Chekhov, like,
yeah,
it was kind of like a Tolstoy line.
I've got some shit in me, man. Got some shit to me, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
That was
dude.
beautiful.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I would not say my experience with it was like that at all. I felt extremely nothing when I was on it. I couldn't feel really anything. I felt like a total robot.
Oh, so that's what you mean by feel different.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But that was way better than what I was feeling before, which was like
Every bridge
intense
is like,
anxiety.
well, that could be it.
Yeah, exactly. Intense anxiety. Yeah, exactly.
Every bridge is like, that looks good.
I got over that one. Every subway platform was like a loaded gun.
Oh my god.
It was like I was playing Russian roulette by standing there and allowing myself to be that close.
Yeah. Someone's like, hey, when's your next stop? You're just like, oh, sorry, I was thinking about something else. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's Delancey. I'm getting off at Delancey.
Is this Uptown? Sorry?
I just had a dream. I had a
dream.
I had one of those really good dreams.
I had a dream. I'm
but
sorry, I just had a dream. You were awake and your eyes were open.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think this is Uptown.
But dude, listen, like it's so I want to like kind of curtail this properly. Like as affable, as put together, as hilarious as you are, you've kind of been open about like some of these mental health struggles in the past.
Oh yeah,
that you've had, and
yeah.
it's been. I've seen you fucking churn out some unbelievable material, and I asked you before the pod if you wanted to talk about it, but you actually did admit yourself for a night to the psych ward.
I didn't. Very wrong. But
okay.
I like how you turned into Charlie Rose there for a second.
Oh, always. Yeah, I get
as affable.
Yeah.
And I want to curtail this, which I don't even know if that's how you use the word. I don't know that word.
I know.
I want to curtail this as affable, as put together as you are. You've had some mental health struggles. And I was like, Drags, we're buddies. We don't have to.
We call it going Larry King mode on the pod.
Larry King mode.
I am genuinely like interested in this stuff.
Yeah.
But I really try to be as like and I know we are buds, but I try to like be as sensitive to some of this shit as possible.
Yeah.
Too. You know what I'm saying? I can't imagine some like some of like the ups and downs of that shit. But I did, I probably didn't need that whole whatever pretext there. But yeah, to tell the listeners of what went down.
What happened was the exact opposite, in fact, which was I did not admit myself. I was forced into the psych ward against my own will.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I remember.
Very much the exact opposite.
Yes.
It's actually, I can tell the whole story. It's kind of a long story, but there was like a night I was on the road in January. My grandma died in December, and that sent me down like a whole existential spiral, thinking about, well, one, just missing her and losing her, and then two, like death and like the finality of death, and just really depression, ruminating repetitive thoughts about dying. And because I was an atheist, and not anymore, but I was an atheist, and I was like, oh, this is it's like it's like an emptiness forever. It's like an eternity of nothing when you die, and just consistently and repetitively thinking that over and over again for like a month. I also didn't sleep straight up for like the month after she died.
Oh, like,
so
okay,
yeah,
keep going.
And it was late December, early January in New York City, which is like a really bad time of year for most people's mental health.
And that's full-blown narcolepsy? Is that what that is?
I think full-blown narcolepsy would be I slept the whole time. I think it's the opposite. And
what's
I think
it called?
insomnia.
Insomnia. Sorry.
I think insomnia. Yeah.
Would a doctor have basically said that's what you had? That's what you had.
Totally.
Okay. Well,
could not sleep.
I'll touch that.
I would do like the most insane, hardest workouts, and I'm like dying, and I'm like so tired, and I straight up just couldn't sleep
because your mind gets in loops that you can't get out of.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't quiet them. And
you're jacking off 5 times.
Exactly.
Are you
jacking off 5 times?
Drink a little wine. Like what's going? Are you trying to like?
Well, I'm pretty sober, so
yes.
I wasn't doing that. And then I also was trying to meditate, which normally helps calm my mind. But in this case, it would make it all worse and worse. Like being mindful. I think I want to work on a bit about it, but I do think in certain cases being mindful makes things worse.
Sure.
In certain cases,
Mm.
because like sometimes you are telling yourself a story about your own suffering, and that's when mindfulness helps, because you start to realize like, oh, this is a story I'm telling myself. This isn't actually that bad. But when you're actually suffering really a lot, it does not help.
Right. Yeah.
You just go, oh, I can really feel my suffering now. I'm super in touch with myself. And it hurts a lot.
I think List has like some joke like about, in the sense where he's like, someone's like, he gets a lot of panic attacks. Someone's like, what's a panic attack? It's like it's when you're attacked by panic.
That's funny. Yeah, totally.
It's when you're attacked by panic.
Totally.
No, but like note, because people say like that is like a technique in like in anxiety or like meditation is to notice it and to see it.
Yeah.
And to then you can quickly go into rumination. I
Yeah.
think, and then that can be like the whole pattern.
Yeah,
So
totally.
so you're battling this kind of insomnia for a month.
Yeah, for a month. And when I just personally, I think this is a lot of people, but personally, when I don't get sleep, I start to feel genuinely like I get suicidal ideate. Like I start to think of killing myself a lot.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah.
And not in like in a more serious way, especially when it's prolonged. Like I get one night of bad sleep and I'm like, ugh, I want to fucking die. And then I get like 2 weeks of bad sleep or no sleep, and I'm like, I really actually want to.
Yeah,
die.
you're
Like, for
that
real,
would be,
I'd like
that
this
would be
to
great.
end.
Yeah,
that would be pretty great. Yeah,
That'd be pretty rad if that happened.
If someone had come up to me and like offered it, like it was like an app or something, like bread for the table. Do you want to die? Oh yeah, totally. That sounds great.
Do you want a side of death?
That's exactly what I wanted. It's literally, I was just thinking that. That's
They have
great.
death here. Oh my god.
Can I have olive oil?
Can I have a little, just a
With it.
little?
Bring a gun with olive oil. A gun covered in olive oil. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay. So yeah. So it's the 2 week mark, and you're like, I can't. I've tried everything.
Yeah.
What was before you go into that? Was there any, like, in terms of the most extreme thing you did to try to sleep? Was there anything besides like, was it like a 4-hour workout? Was it like a 3-hour meditation? Was it like was it like a Xanny bar or a half Xanny bar or some shit like that? Or
Yeah. I mean, I didn't try.
NyQuil or
I hadn't tried. That would have been a good idea. I think probably actually like something that would have like straight up knocked me out.
right. But sometimes that shit doesn't even do a dent when if you're in the loop that you might have been in.
Mhm. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Is I was starting because my mom was like, oh, you should try this and that. And so we tried a couple things when I was staying with her, like, because my grandma died and then we all went down to Philly where she lived and my mom lives, just to like be together as a family for like the 5 days after.
Yeah.
And then when I was there, my mom was like, oh, you can't sleep. You should try like these things. And like, that was the first week. So like I tried a couple things and nothing really worked. And then like later I was like going to the gym at like midnight or whatever. And you know, my workout routine is like hilarious.
Yes.
Because it's so serious, but I look like such a normal person.
You don't, dude.
It's like
you
a
don't give yourself
psychotic.
credit.
It's like a psychotic routine where I'm like lifting the maximum I can lift every time I go in.
Yeah, you work your ass off. Yeah.
And I was doing that, but it's not even like healthy. But I was doing that and like at midnight. And then I like would just to try to get myself to sleep, and then I wouldn't sleep. And then I like do it again in the morning, like a different workout.
Holy shit.
But I kept doing that, but it didn't work. And then my body started to like break down. Like I started to get like, it wasn't injuries, but like real pains and like a lot of muscles and stuff.
Mhm.
Anyway, I go on the road to Minneapolis, which is like a great comedy city and like a great club, Sisyphus. It's like the best club.
Yes.
And I actually think I might not be alive if I hadn't been doing those shows because they were so good.
Yeah.
They were so good.
You were crushing. Yeah.
They were so good. I
that
couldn't
room's
even
amazing.
yeah, they were so good. But no, so I went there and I was alone in a hotel room for like a weekend.
Mhm.
And I was just thinking about my grandma, and I wasn't going outside, and I was like exercising in a way that was probably harmful to my health. I wasn't eating healthy. I wasn't eating much at all. I hadn't slept for about a month at this point. It was around a month.
There's no, are you getting any like cold symptoms? Are you getting any like sinus stuff?
Totally.
Yeah.
That's really smart. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Like a cold the whole time, pretty much.
Okay, yeah.
Lightly sick for the whole
because your
month.
body's like, what's going on?
Yeah, and if you're not sleeping, you're just gonna get sick like that.
Of
So yeah,
course.
I was sick, and I got really depressed. And at one point, I started just thinking, I was like, if I just go up to the roof and jump off, it would just be over, which would be really nice.
God.
And then I had that thought,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, like I had that thought. And then I went to the Friday show, and I did the show, and it was, I mean, it was like pretty good, but I think I was like visibly depressed on stage. As far as I remember, I think I was saying stuff that was like crazy, and it was very out of touch with what was happening in the room.
Oh, wow.
Because like I remember, like, I'm pretty sure I was doing well, but I was like, this sucks. Like, I hate this so much. But I'm pretty sure it was a fine show.
Holy shit. Yeah.
But I do that sometimes. But anyway, and then like I couldn't sleep again that night. And when I woke up, or I just got out of bed, I didn't sleep. So it was funny. I would just like lie there for like 6 hours and then like
I'd just be like,
eyes closed like this.
that
and
is
just
so crazy.
It's so weird. And then,
And yeah, you're getting up when you just like thought
yeah, I mean, also,
you should. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Whenever my alarm went off.
It's the
Also, I'm
morning.
sure I slept in there somewhere,
Mm.
right? Because I don't think it's possible to not sleep for a month. I think you would die, like scientifically speaking.
Okay. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I subjectively, from my own experience, I didn't feel myself sleep ever
Wow.
for that whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, so I wake up the next day and I have like a shitty breakfast, and I think I stayed in the hotel room for like 6 hours. And I started really thinking about it, like, how would I get up there, and like how would I do this, and like really planning it out and being like, okay, and like then like trying to think of like writing a will and like leaving my money to my nephew who's like whatever.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
so he gets the
but
money.
I was doing all this kind
Who
of
doesn't?
unconsciously. Yeah.
Yes. You were like, some people don't get the money.
Yeah. So he gets that mic stand that's in my closet, and then that's the only thing I own. That's the only thing I have to my name.
They can. John can find a new what is it? Like a new tenant or something like that. John can get a roommate. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like really considering it, because it was really just, I kept thinking about dying and how it's forever, and really it was a nihilistic, a repetitive thought of like, well, if we just die and everyone I know dies always, which is true, like everyone you ever meet will die and be dead
Yeah.
for basically an eternity compared to how short they are alive.
Of course. Yeah.
And then I kept thinking that just over and over. I was just like, well, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point? What's the point? And then I started planning how to do it, how to kill myself. Cause I'm like, well, if there's no point to even being alive for the 40 years I'll be alive, 30 years I'll be alive, why not just do it now? Like, why not just get it over with? Cause it's so painful. And then I started planning it. And then there was a moment at some point during that day where I was like, realized that I was thinking all this. I hadn't even it wasn't conscious.
Oh, wow.
It was like, or I wasn't mindful. I wasn't aware of myself. I was like just planning it in the background as I'm going about my day,
Yes.
Like I'm like
yes.
getting food, and then I'm like going down, or I'm like reading, and that's all I'm thinking about. But
Yeah.
I'm basically pretending to myself to be doing things.
Holy shit. But in your mind, you have this laundry list of kind of what exactly.
Yeah.
And so it was the roof. Not to get too like morbid here, but it was going to be there if you were to do it. And you're like the roof is, I could dive and that would be, you're thinking like that'd be the quickest way to do it. And also that's the only way in your mind, that's the only way to do it then.
Yeah.
Or is there a reason, like, were you comparing it to, were you saying, if this is my life right now, is it like, how can death be much worse because of the state of your insomnia and stuff like? Was it just because of the suffering, or was it well, eternity is eternity. Like, this is all it was okay.
Definitely like both, all of it. Yeah.
So it was the kind of the cocktail of your circumstances, along with just the just the idea that this is all is kind of pointless in some way if you want to look at it like that. So you're like, okay.
If you want to look at it like that, right?
No, of course. Yeah.
Yes. So that would, I definitely think it was like the ruminative anxious existential thoughts coupled with me being in general really poorly slept, poor diet. I wasn't having there's no sun because it was like the beginning of January in Minneapolis, like or New York, like there's just no sun in those places at that time of year. My apartment in New York at that time had no sunlight at all, literally no natural light in the whole apartment. So I think it was like a combo of a lot of stuff. And I think probably for me, it's like the physical, it comes first. So if I'm not healthy physically, I will start to have those thoughts and slide into those patterns and that rumination. Yeah. So I think it was like, that was kind of probably the first order cause. And then the second order cause was like my grandma. Well, I mean, my grandma dying, I feel like sort of interacted with me not sleeping. I think that was like why I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about her dying and like where she went and just how strange it is that, because it was the first family member I'd lost. It sounds weird. Sure. Because I was 28, but she was actually the first one that had died in my family. So yes, and I hadn't even really known anyone close to me that had ever died.
No, I mean, it's a very I remember the only first introduction to something like that. My mom called me when I was in college that my dog was going blind. She was going blind, and I had been with this. I had this like girlfriend in college. I'd with her for 2 years. Sobbed. Like she was like, "Your dog's dog's not like dying. He's just going blind." She's like 12 years old. This thing happens, and I was just like, and I think it's like when you any first in any sense, obviously. So your first experience with this was like a much more tragic.
I mean,
situation.
Even I wouldn't even use that word because she was 93. So like,
right.
I mean, is that tragic? Like it's tragic when anyone dies.
Great
totally
life.
Is. She led a great life, and she was like really old when she died. She died painlessly. She was a stroke, and she just like that. I guess it is tragic that anyone dies, but it wasn't like my best friend when I was 19 died or something, or like my brother when I was young. Like,
right.
You know?
No.
Like in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a.
Right. So
it's not that tragic of a death.
But you still, but it still kind of propelled you into this kind of state. Yeah. And from my understanding, I think you said you went to the ER for this.
So I called the suicide hotline. I have a bit about that, so I wouldn't do it on here.
Yeah.
But they hung up on me. And
you could do a couple of the bits, man. If you want, you don't have to. But
they did hang up on me. But then she did call back. She did call back, and I was on the phone with a friend at the time, so I did have to say to my friend, "Hey, man, I gotta go. It's the suicide hotline. They're calling me." Sounds crazy.
Yeah.
The joke. It sounds like they're doing outreach. Like they're like, "Hey, we heard about your life. Don't do it. Hang in there." So that woman did save my life though, because they do a thing that's just it's called active listening, and no one. It's very interesting, and I think it's helpful to me or anyone, honestly. But like when someone's going through a hard time, is they didn't say anything. Everyone else in my life was like I would say she died, and they're like, she had a great life, like trying to make you feel better.
Yeah.
Or like, look at it this way, or like a different perspective.
Sure.
And the woman, we talked for an hour or something, and on the suicide hotline, she just, I think, and this is what they're trained to do, she just validated everything I said. I was like, my grandma died, and she was like, well, it's hard when someone you love dies. Oh. And I was like, yeah, it is. And she was like, totally. Yeah. She was the only one. And I was like, it made me feel like, what's the point of all this? And she's like, totally. Why wouldn't you feel that way? And that's what they're trained to do, is just like anything you say that's just like, yeah, absolutely.
And when you're validated like that, you're used to someone kind of pushing back.
Yeah.
So now you got someone kind of in the foxhole with you in that sense, right?
Yeah.
Like mentally, you've got someone who's by your side.
Dude, yes.
That's okay. That's good. Instead of someone trying to like teach you something, you just have someone kind of there with you.
Totally.
Oh wow, that's
such a That's a great way to put it. That's such a good way to put it.
Yeah. Okay.
There's someone in the foxhole, and I literally felt like more connected to her than anyone in my life at that moment, because I was like, I mean, it's just a trick of like how they train them, but it felt like she was the only one that understood like what I was going through or what I was talking about, which is not true, but she was the best at communicating in a way that made me feel that way.
Totally.
Because she was trained to do so.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's what they call in crisis that day. Then my friend came, picked me up. The funny thing was, he came and picked me up, and we had booked a podcast because he's my good friend from New York, like from literally when we started together.
Yeah.
And he was like, we were supposed to do a podcast, and he was like, dude, we're not going to do the podcast. So he just took me out to lunch, and then I was just sitting there. We weren't really talking, honestly. He was just like keeping me company. And then I was like, yeah, let's do the podcast. And then we did a podcast,
nice,
which was probably in retrospect a mistake.
Well, it takes you. Well, it just takes you out of what you're.
Did.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's also like these things are health. Like also can be a healthy.
I mean, it did take me out of it. I will say my friends didn't appreciate me not being available to talk to them for an hour because they all thought I'd killed myself in that time. So I deeply apologize to anyone that.
So you had to text back, sorry, just ripped a pod real quick.
Literally. So yeah, and also I will say I know how I sound, and I'm not a good guy. I'm not. So don't come at me with, that's really fucked up to do. I know.
No one's perfect, guys.
You think I don't know I shouldn't have done that? Duh.
We still have on the screen.
I talked shit on my ex on that podcast. I mean, it was so
really
the wrong thing. Yeah.
Oh,
but we were together at the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
You kind of felt like it was.
I'm the bad guy. I'm not hearing this going, yeah, and I shoulda.
Yeah. But I remember, I mean, we can talk about this again later in a little bit, but like, I remember some of the stuff you telling me about your ex, and it was pretty, like you were within your rights.
There's no need to talk about any of it on a podcast.
Sure.
Certainly not.
Especially while you're going through it.
Well, I'm going through, I mean, it's just a dumb decision, and everyone listening and judging, I dare you, if you're suicidal, to not go on a podcast. Figure out a way to do that, and I'll give you your flowers.
Yeah.
But in this reality, when we're suicidal, we do a podcast immediately.
We pod out here.
We talk shit on the people in our lives who care about us.
God, that is so funny, dude.
So I did that, and then this is literally all a preamble to the actual thing that happened, which was I get back to New York on Sunday.
Yeah.
Then 24 hours later, I've been talking to my therapist throughout this. Like after I called the suicide hotline, I checked in with my therapist, and then we were corresponding. You need like a crisis plan. So like I was trying to be with someone that like a friend of mine the whole time.
Yeah. For
like a couple of days. Then I had therapy on Monday, like an emergency session. And we talked, and my therapist is not on my insurance, because like we're self-employed, so it's like the shittiest possible insurance.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was talking to him, and it's no fault of his, I don't think, but he was like, yeah, you should just talk to your primary care physician. Whatever they say to do, you should do that.
What?
And I told my primary care physician, and at this point I'm feeling like the crisis has sort of passed. I'm still depressed. So I was talking to my therapist, like, I need to see a psychiatrist. That's what I need now. Because I'm not going to kill myself. I don't feel like it right now, but I do think I need some medication to get me through whatever this crisis, this period of depression rather, and to help me sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I need to see a psychiatrist. My primary care physician, I email him, and so I emailed him on Saturday when I was in crisis. Then Monday he responds. He said, go immediately to the ER. And I said, I'm just looking for a psychiatrist. I responded on Monday.
Yeah. And
he said, you have to go to the ER like right away. And I was like, okay, that's like a weird way to get a psychiatrist, but I guess, whatever works.
Oh.
That's not true at all. Like he was responding to me from days ago.
Oh, okay.
With like you need to immediate medical attention because you're at risk of harming yourself, which I no longer was on Monday.
Because you were kind of in that episode.
Yeah. And then like that night I was with my friend the whole night, and he drove me to the airport the next morning. And then I immediately landed and went to my friend's house here, and I stayed with a friend the whole day. I was with people like around the clock until like I got this email from and then I went to the hospital, and I mean, yeah, the bit doesn't totally work. But I went to the hospital, and I was like, my doctor told me to come here. I'm like just feeling depressed, and they were like, "What?"
No.
And immediately, I should have turned around and left immediately.
No.
Because their response was too much for what how they reacted was like, have a gun to my head in that moment. Whereas I felt like, yeah, I just need like sleeping meds. Like that's how I felt at that time.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm kind of like over that crisis of like stuck in the thought loop and like I need to kill myself. What really got me out of it was that call at the suicide hotline. Anyway, so I'm like, that's a weird reaction.
Whoa.
But I was like, yeah, they told me to come here to see a psychiatrist, like to get meds. And they were like, yeah, you totally, you come with us, you're going to go upstairs. And I was like, I'm good. Like we can stay on this level. We don't,
we don't need to go
different
stairs.
levels. And they were like, no, like go upstairs. And that's how you get like a psychiatrist and like meds. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go upstairs. And so I went upstairs and then they made me wait 2 hours in the waiting room.
Yeah.
I get up and I start to leave because I'm like, it's just too long of a wait. Like I'm just like, I'll figure out a different way to get a psychiatrist, but like, this is taking too long.
Yeah.
I have shit to do. And I have work that night. I had like 4 sets that night. So I'm like, I just can't do this.
Yeah.
So then I try to leave and a police officer stops me and goes, you can't leave. And I go, no, like I can definitely leave. I admitted myself. And they said, no, you have to get evaluated this is true, by like 2 psychiatrists in order to leave the hospital if you were admitted for a psychiatric reason.
Called you a crazy person.
Yeah, totally.
They're like, you can't leave because you're crazy, because you're not. Yeah, you ain't right. No, you ain't right.
That's what she said. No, you ain't right. you stand.
That is bananas.
She called me white boy. She said, you stand, white boy.
Saying, no, player. No. Yeah. You one of them white boys, huh? You one of them white boys. You staying here?
Oh, you're a sad cracker.
Nah, sad cracker. You sit your ass down.
Sit your ass down.
Okay, so the sassy black lady cop.
Yes, it was a black female cop actually, but she didn't say any of those things. That was us being racist.
Yes.
So she's like, you have to stay here.
Yeah.
You have to stay and do an intake form, and the psychiatrists have to clear you to go. 2 of them.
Yeah.
I do an intake form where they ask me basic questions like, are you thinking of harming yourself? Or where they said, are you anxious? Are you depressed? And I said, no.
Ooh.
Because I understand that I have to say that to leave.
Right.
I didn't feel that way, but I was like, I just want to go.
Yeah.
And then they said, are you thinking of harming yourself? And I said, absolutely not. Why would I do that? I'm awesome. I'm great. They were like, they asked me, what are your reasons to live? And I said, I thought this was great. I said, my siblings, my nephew, and the national parks. And I really do think the national parks is what made them go, this guy's crazy. Because everything else was like kind of in a consistent narrative, and that one, it was like a Sherlock Holmes clue,
right?
Where he was like, why, Watson? He wouldn't say national parks if he actually meant it.
No, yeah. National parks. That's someone who's a little off the rocker.
It's off the rocker. It's off the reservation.
The national parks.
Yes.
This guy's okay. Let's put this guy in a fucking straitjacket immediately.
I straight up remember the psychiatrist, looking at each other.
Oh. Yeah, the national parks. Like they're like, okay, well, this is a code red. This guy's a fucking. This guy's Looney
4 more
Tunes.
cops enter the room.
God, I hope that they have some like. I hope they have some like hilarious code names for crazy people.
Looney Tunes.
They go. This one's This is a code Looney. This is a yeah.
We got a Shutter Island.
Yeah, we got a Bugs Bunny on our hands, folks.
Like a silly one.
Yeah.
We've got a Squidward tentacle. He's got a sad penis.
This one's got a sad. We had clearly a sad penis.
Show us your penis, sir. Yeah. Sir, if you're not sad, show us your penis. And then, I don't have to show you shit.
Yeah. Oh, you're not sad? Let's see that happy dick. Let's see that happy dick right now. Come on.
So then you show them your dick and they're like, So what you're claiming is that that's the normal, not sad length of your dick. And then you're caught in the crossfire because like, well, if I say yes, that means I have a small penis.
Well, you're saying that
if
dick.
I say no, I'm stuck here.
Excuse me, sir. Now looking at it, we can all see you're saying that dick wants to be here on Earth. That dick wants to be here with us.
That's not a suicidal dick, sir.
That dick wants to see tomorrow.
Sir, let me talk to your dick. No, I don't see why you have to. Absolutely not. and then, sir, we're going to have to talk to the dick if you want to leave. Fine. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Jamie's dick.
Jamie, come on. Lock him up.
Lock him up.
Lock him up.
Lock him up. So I did the evaluation and I nailed all the questions except the national park thing.
Yeah.
I said everything they needed me to say.
Yes.
That I knew they needed me to say in order to leave.
Yes.
I do that 3 times, 3 separate psychiatrists. I've been here for like 5 hours now.
Whoa.
At the end of this, the woman walks back in.
It's an ACT test.
Yes, exactly.
Truly.
Totally.
That's crazy. Keep going.
It's insane. The woman walks back in, one of those psychiatrists, and she, she was Caribbean, but there's no need to do the accent. So she walks back in and she says, in this voice, she says, Jamie, we've decided that you have to stay overnight in order, basically, for us to discharge you, you must stay for at least 48 hours before we feel you are safe to leave.
Wow.
And then that's when I start to freak out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's technically a psychiatric evaluation, but it feels a lot more like I'm now in prison.
Right.
Because I can't leave. And there's cops.
And you also can't really like go too hard because then you look a little crazy.
That's part of
you
the
gotta,
bit too.
you got to keep your
I remember
composure.
going like that.
like
literally
like you wanted to strangle. Yeah.
And everything's a point against. And I was like, no, I have to go. And she was like, you can't leave. It's up to me, and it's not safe for you to leave. And I went, I have to go. Ooh. I have work. And immediately the cops, all 4 of them, like step forward.
Oh, they're like ready to rock.
Oh, they're ready to rock, brother.
Holy shit.
And I'm like, and I literally said, I'm not crazy. I shouted that at her.
No.
I said, I'm not crazy. I shouldn't be here.
The cops look at them like, oh shit,
we've heard this one
before. yeah. They're like, oh no.
Funny. There's so many funny details about this. Okay, so then I'm just admitted, and one of the cops, he's like a nice dude, and he's like, you just have to go along with everything they say, and then you can leave. That's the fastest way out. He's like, just everything they tell you to do that. Don't question it. Hang out here for 48 hours, and you'll leave.
Eat, just. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm literally not insane. I was like, I know this sounds so crazy, but I'm a comedian with over 100,000 followers on Instagram. I was like, look me up right now. I know that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
But like, I really am. And he was like, I believe you, man. And I was like, fuck you.
No.
Actually look it up, because now I seem more insane.
Yeah, they're all writing this down. Like, he thinks he's a famous comedian.
Yeah, it's literally.
He thinks he works at the Comedy Cellar. Oh no. Oh,
yeah,
boy.
do your set for us.
Yeah.
just carving a Joker smile into my face with a knife.
But also missing 4 sets at the Cellar is like that's
huge. I mean, that's big. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So they give you a call. I had to write. They take your phone. They take your belongings. They take your clothing when they admit you. They put you in. I mean, the only way to describe it is Shutter Island garb. I mean, it's literally like,
oh my god,
just what except crazier, because it doesn't fit.
Oh wow,
it doesn't fit, and it's like it was like it came up to there on me. Like halfway up my forearm is how high up the shirt went, and then the pants cut off like mid calf. So I looked fucking insane.
This stuff's not gonna,
everything they do makes you look more insane.
And this shit's not gonna like lift your mood. Like you're not gonna be like, well, you're not gonna want to be here longer.
Totally. Like at the end of this 48 hours.
Yes.
Jamie, you're free to go. I don't want to leave. The
God.
inside of the psych ward has no furniture. There's nothing on the walls. There is a television behind bulletproof glass, tuned 24 hours a day to an evangelical network with televangelists on the entire time.
This is hell.
If I were to design a room to make you insane, I'd put you in this place.
Yes.
Also, hilarious small detail that I will never, ever forget. The date, it said on the only piece of the only piece of whatever furniture is a whiteboard, a big whiteboard that they had markers to write on.
Yeah.
And it said, today is Monday, January, and it said the day before. So it was literally, it said Monday, the right day, and then it said the wrong date.
Whoa.
So they had the wrong date up in the insane asylum.
To make you think, oh my, I don't know.
I don't know why.
Or they were wrong. Yeah.
I was like, but when I saw it and I thought of what the guy said, I was like, I can't mention that to them because that makes me seem crazy and no one's going to double check that they're wrong. But it was literally the day before.
Yeah.
I think it was like,
Smart
it said
move.
the 12th, but it was the 13th. I'm pretty sure that was it.
That is
It said today is Monday, January 12th, and it was Monday, January 13th.
holy shit.
And I was just looking at that like, I mean, even that detail is like, it's like an escape room designed to make you feel like you're actually in an insane asylum.
Yeah.
The whole thing did feel a lot like an escape room
Yeah.
where there's no clues. You just have to convince them that you should be let out.
Well, dude, there's
There's not like you solve the puzzle.
Yeah.
It's just like you have to argue with a guy until he believes that you're fine.
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't feel too far off from like when cops like want to convict someone of murder, they basically just put
Yeah.
them in the interrogation room
Yeah.
for 12 hours.
Yeah.
I forget what that tactic is called.
Yeah.
But it's really you just wear people down
Yeah.
to the point where they go, "Yeah, I killed that person," and
Yeah.
they're totally
And they just
innocent.
they're innocent. Yeah,
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 yeah.
exactly. They just said it because they knew they'd get out of that room.
So yeah, they're essentially being like, well, if he's here long enough, he'll basically admit like he needs to be here or needs help or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so they took my phone. I mean, this is way longer than I thought you even.
No. Oh shit. Yeah. What
We're at 50 minutes. You got time.
Yeah, we got time. Yeah,
Okay.
we got 10
I'm
more
trying
minutes.
to
Yeah,
shorten
10,
it.
15
Anyway,
minutes.
I wrote down they let me write down 2 phone numbers. I wrote down the number of my sister, my twin sister who lives in New York, and then the booker of the Comedy Cellar.
Yeah.
Or not the booker, but yeah, actually I think it was a booker. Anyway, I called my sister and I said, you have to tell them that I'm missing work.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, I'm in an insane asylum. So I had to call her and say, by the way, I'm missing work. You have to text my boss like immediately because it was like 6 and my first spot was at like 7.
Oh my god.
You have to text them right now. Also, I'm in the psych ward and I can't get out.
Holy
That's like my second
shit.
thing. That's like comedians' priorities, by the way.
Yeah, no, you have to. Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna miss
I'm gonna miss my spot 1.
my first call. If an airplane was crashing, my first call would be to Esty at the Comedy Cellar to say I can't make my spots, and my second call would be to my loved ones to say goodbye,
100% true.
to say I love you guys and goodbye.
So okay, let's keep moving.
I sent her that. My sister is like, what the fuck? They're doing all this to you? She wages like a war with the hospital. She calls them all the time, like every 20 minutes, like, get him out of there. This is going to make it way worse. Because I told her everything that had happened.
Mhm.
She's like, this is going to make it way worse. This isn't going to help him. They get my uncle on the phone who's like a psychiatrist, like
cool.
he's like, I don't know. He's like at the VA, and I think he's like in the government world of psychiatry. He's like well known apparently.
Oh, cool.
I don't know anything about psychiatry.
Yeah.
He works in like addiction specialization.
Cool.
I don't know. Anyway, so he starts calling the hospital too, who's like, he's a licensed doctor, and I don't know, I think that matters. And they just are like, no, we're not gonna let him out. No. Like, if you're not here with him. They told them that I told the hospital I'm gonna kill myself. They told my sister and my uncle that I said to the psychiatrist in the intake interview, I'm gonna kill myself.
Whoa.
If you do, yeah. Like, I'm thinking I have a plan to do it.
And,
Swear to God.
and
Never
it's
said
patently false. Patently false.
I know
yeah.
it was false because I lied. I remember lying to you guys. Okay? So you can't try to fucking turn this around on me because I lied something different. That's right, but not because I told you.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna be like, sorry, Jamie's uncle, he did say national parks, and that put out a red flag to all of us. That'll get you 72 hours in the ward.
I feel like if you had said that to my uncle, he'd be like, okay, yeah, he sounds wild, insane right
national
now.
parks.
Yeah.
All right.
Really?
Yeah, there's nothing I can do there. So they want to keep you. Your family's trying to get you out.
Yeah.
This is a movie.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. They're trying to get me out this whole time. I see 4 people admitted in the time that I'm there. Every single one had the exact same reaction I did.
Really?
Exactly the same. Screaming, cops all crowding around. I'm not crazy. You have to let me out, yelling at everyone. Every single 4 people after I was admitted.
Wow.
Every single one had the exact same reaction I had.
Yeah.
And I start to talk to one of them because you're there for so long.
Sure, yeah.
And there's nothing to do. You can't even write on anything.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there either watching the TV that's preaching to you about. I watched a great segment that was Jews converted to Christianity. So they sat down these Jews and they were like, so when did you realize Christ was your savior? And I watched like an hour long special on Jews that became Christians.
Yeah.
Because they heard the word of Christ.
Jesus.
Anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm sitting next to this guy who like seems normal. There's a couple people talking to themselves and behaving insane, but there's like 3-4 of us that are like just kind of low key, just kind of like sitting there, like literally like you're at like a bus stop, just kind of chilling, not really doing shit.
Yeah.
I start talking to him. He goes, yeah, I came to see a psychiatrist and they just admitted me to the psych ward. He was like, I was not going to kill myself. I wasn't depressed. I just wanted like to see a psychiatrist. He was like, I'm doing okay. They just immediately, because he came to the hospital too.
Yeah.
And I found out later that a lot of hospitals, this is why they do this, is they do it because they charge you.
No.
They charge you for the care. So everyone in the psych ward is in on the exact same scheme, which is, so they ran tests on me. They like took my blood. They did like all this shit. They gave meds and stuff.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of unnecessary shit so that they could charge me more money.
Whoa.
When I leave the hospital.
And they made up that you said you were going to kill yourself. They lied completely, and they do this probably for.
And sure, was I thinking about that? Absolutely. But I lied to you, so I know that I didn't tell the truth. I know that's not what I said because I remember my lies.
That is unbelievable.
They're hard to keep track of if you don't remember them.
What is the fucking what's the is it a time thing? What did you say to get you out? Was it finally?
It was just my sister had called. She called them like all night.
Yeah.
She just wouldn't let up.
Wow.
She like,
and this one you were in there for, so then you were in there for what, 20?
Supposed to be 48 hours. 24 hours later, they do another assessment. Where they're like, how are you feeling? You feeling like ready to let out? And I was like, I'm feeling extremely angry.
No.
Are you thinking of hurting people? Yeah, I'm thinking of like hurting myself.
Wait, what? You really you said this?
Totally. And then they let me out because my sister had just begged them to let me out. And this was my outtake interview. So they did the same questions. They were like, are you feeling depressed or anxious? And I said, yes. They said, are you thinking of harming yourself? I said, that's the first thing I'm going to do when you guys let me out of here. And then they let me out. Because I knew now.
You knew you were going to get out anyway.
Yeah, because I knew now they were just going to let me out because my sister had made noise. And I knew whatever they were writing down was just a total lie to begin with.
Wow.
So I was like, I'll just say whatever. And I literally said verbatim, my plan is as soon as I get out to go home and harm myself immediately. That's my plan. To go home right now and hurt myself. And they let me out.
Holy fucking shit. And they go,
yeah,
okay.
So I guess my point in the whole story is no one is more supportive of Luigi than I am. There's not one person in the entire world who's more on his side.
Dude, I mean, that is an unbelievable story.
Yeah.
You get out, And what I gotta ask before we, you know what? We'll roll. I'll do a couple more questions to kind of. We'll conclude this actually in the Patreon. Where can people find you? I got a couple more questions, and we got a ton of other shit we'll talk about in the Patreon.
Jamie Wolf Comedy on all platforms.
Jamie Wolf Comedy on all platforms. Guys, he is just one of the best doing it right now. If you haven't heard of him now, obviously if you listen to the pod, you've heard of him. But you will if you're a new listener. If you haven't heard of him, check his stuff out. He's
the four people still listening.
He's brilliant.
I love this guy.
Yeah, let's go.
They're all fucking crazy.
Yeah. Everyone that's
hilarious.
Everyone that's lasted this long is also like in a psych. They're playing this in a psych ward right now. Just some fucking just like some Inception shit. Like,
I love the idea of it's not a televangelist network. It's just you're an idiot episodes.
You're an idiot. My podcast gets played at the psych ward.
It's your pod.
Just about talking about just a 6'6" bro talking about tits the whole time. And he has his comic friends on.
This might help, crazies.
Come on. Guys, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for listening. You've been an idiot for listening. Good night and good luck. We'll see you in the Patreon.